What is up, everybody? This is Eric, the one and only bear collector, and today I will be doing my August 2025 video game haul. And as always, we'll begin with the digital downloads that I got this month, because this month, although I didn't get that many physical, I did get a couple more digital. So anyways, let's start with the Nintendo Switch. And the only game that I got for Nintendo Switch this month is a game called Crow Country. Now, this game is basically uh kind of like if you guys play Resident Evil, the original one on the PS1. You play a detective who is trying to find the missing owner of a theme park of Crow Country named Edward Crow. So she goes to investigate what happened to him. Now, this is a game that I've been trying to get for a really long time. I actually wanted to get a physical copy. I don't know if it's physical available or not. But I've been wanting to get this game for a really long time, and it went on sale earlier in the month, so I took advantage of it, and I got it. So that's the only game for the Switch that I got. And like always, let's begin and take a look at the ones for the Steam Deck, because I got a couple. Let me put that there. Let me set this up. Sorry, my Oakland symbol is going to be interrupted for a moment, because I will be putting this on to make it easier, and I'll zoom in so I can use the controller. It'll be easier for me to control. Okay, so let me go ahead and zoom in so you guys can see, and let's go ahead. So the first game that I got here is The Adventures of Candle Boy. So basically, you play Candle Boy. It's a 3D, kind of like the Nintendo 64 style platformers. It's a 3D platformer where you play Candle Boy and you're out to steal a ring from a giant. So this one was actually going for free. So I took advantage of that one. Now, the majority of the games were free. However, I did buy a couple, but I'll explain as I go. Next game I got for free is this one called I forget the name. Has a weird name because it's something desk job. Let me look at my notes. Well, I can go ahead and look in here. Let me see. It's called Aperture Desk Job. Now, this game is basically one of the early games that came out for the Steam Deck that kind of showcased how the Steam Deck worked. And it basically showed you around the console. Is basically you play a newcomer to a job where you're trying to ascend the ladder in the corporate world. And the game takes place supposedly it takes place in the Portal universe, but they made it very clear that it's no Portal 3 or anything like that. So it's a short game that is based on that. Now, this next one is called Babdi. It was another free game, and you basically are visiting this town and you're trying to find a way out. So it's kind of like a first person exploration adventure game. And it does state that it's a short game, and you basically do not do any combat. It's just exploration. The next one, now this one right here, it actually is called Borrow GT. It's a racing game and is based on the Borrow universe of games, but this particular version is now on set. It's now being sold, but for a limited time it was available for free, and it's basically a racing game. However, and this one is the edition where you can't jump, and they base it very similar to like Mario Kart or those type of kart racers. So yeah, they kind of give it mixed reviews. Now let me see if I can zoom out a little bit, cause yeah, let me see. That way it captures the Steam Deck. This next one right here is Beyond the Steel Sky, which is a very popular adventure game where you're trying to escort a kid in a post-apocalyptic world. It is the sequel to Beneath the Steel Sky. And this is another game that I was trying to get for a really, really long time for the Switch. And they had like a steelbook edition of it, but it just kind of like, I couldn't get it, and it was kind of like I kept letting go of it, and it went on sale for really cheap on the Steam, and I just took advantage and I bought it. It was going for really cheap. So yeah, let me just show a little bit. So it's a 3D adventure thriller. This game kind of reminds me a lot of These games remind me of Blade Runner style. But yeah, it tells you right here. So you're escorting a young child, I believe, from what I read. Yes, it's right there. It's from based on a comic book. So you're Robert Foster. So it's actually a child's been abducted. So you're trying to bring him home. I said it wrong. I said escort. No, you're trying to bring a kid home. So yeah, that's that one. And then this next one, Cold Fear. Now this one. Now this is based on a PS2 game, Cold Fear. And it's kind of similar to, again, like those Resident Evil style game, like Resident Evil 2. This is a game that's supposedly very expensive to own on the PS2 physically, but it went on sale for really cheap. And you're basically a Coast Guard. I believe you're a Coast Guard person that's trying to investigate a Russian whaler that mysteriously had was asking for help, and then you're investigating the whaler, the boat. Let me see. It says it right here. Yeah, in a ferocious Arctic storm, you get a distress signal, and from a Russian whaler. Yeah, so you're a Coast Guard veteran, and you got to investigate what happened in the ship. This one reminds me a lot of The Thing. So it kind of gives me that vibe. I don't know if it's like that, but this is a game that I've been really wanting to get for a long time. Next one right here. The titles are hard for me to see. Culinary Wizard. This is an actual 2D side-scrolling platformer. But let me get more information on it, because it's kind of. So it's basically you're an apprentice chef trying to master the sacred culinary arts under the tutelage of a newfound teacher. So you go to magical lands to explore that and become a chef. So yeah, this one looked pretty interesting. I don't know if it's a Metroidvania, side scroller 2D platformer action. So it's more of a platformer. I thought it was gonna be like a Metroidvania, but yeah, I think this one was going for free as well. I don't know if this was one of the games that went for free for a limited time, but no, I think it's free. Now this one right here, this one's an interesting one. A Date with Death. So it's basically a very short graphic novel where you're trying to you're trying to fight against and you're dating death himself. So the Grim Reaper, and basically it has several endings. So you can choose different endings depending on the choices you make, but it's like I don't know if it's like a dating sim, but it kind of caught my eye. It looks more like, yeah, it looks kind of like a dating sim. So yeah, so it looks interesting. So yeah, it's going for free, so I give it a shot. Next one, okay, so this one, The Deadline. So this one right here, it was a game that actually was available for a limited time for free. And basically it's a post-apocalyptic world where zombies have taken over, and a lot of people live in subway areas, and you're trying to get to your family and to find that final destination in the subway, to get there, to survive to the final stop. So you're trying to make it there. It looks like it's a first person zombie. Yeah, like a first person shooter. Looked very interesting in it, and it was going, I believe. Okay, if I go to the store page, no, it's actually available for free. I thought it was limited free, so I was wrong. But yeah, next one is Dextimulation. No, sorry, Dextination. Sorry, this one right here is basically kind of like an adventure, roguelike overhead RPG adventure game where you use deck of cards to go to battle. And let's see what the story's about. It's a real-time combat deck and building hybrid. So, but what's the story? This is the thing. I like some of these, I forgot the storylines to it, and some of them, I have to go right here. So remove unnecessary. So it's kind of like it kind of teaches you what it is, but it doesn't really tell you what it is. So yeah, but it looked pretty interesting and it looked fun. So it's free, so you can't beat that. Next game, this one, Dracomation. Let's see what this one's about. It's a top-down, another roguelite. Bullet Hell. Oh, it's a Bullet Hell. about Eclipse, a young small robot who awakens in an abandoned factory filled with corrupted training. So you're a robot who wakes up in an abandoned factory, and you know you're trying to fight your way out to the top of the tower, actually, to by transforming your robot buddy. So it's kind of like, let me go there. This one actually went for free. So yes, this is another one that was available for a limited time for free. I thought it was the other one, but it's this one. That's why I got it confused. It's like a bullet hell, overhead bullet hell type of game. Yeah, and this one looked very interesting. Now this next one, let me see. Let's go down, drag. So okay, so these I'm not gonna go through. These are first person adventure, point and click adventure games. It's a whole series that I bought that was going for really cheap. Is Dracula, and then you got Dracula the sequel. So you got all 1, 2, 3, 4 4 Dracula games that were all available, and these are old games that came out back in the days in old computer systems. The last two, these two right here, they're actually remade. So you're basically trying to uncover. Let me see what the story is. Well, so this is a sequel, but the other one I have the first one. So after saving Mina, so it's like, yeah, you have to save somebody, and then it keeps going. So it's a good story, from what I read. Let me see. I'm like saying good story, but I'm not telling what it is. So you're trying to investigate the Prince of Darkness. Let me see what it says. This is drag. Okay, where's part 1? But I have them all. It's part 1, 2, 3, and so this is 2, 3. Is this the first one? No, this is Dracula 5 and 4. Wow. Dracula Resurrection. So I think this is the first one. Yes, it's yeah. So you go to Transylvania from 1904, and 7 years after the slaying of Dracula, you play as Jonathan. So yeah, it's like a point and click adventure game from old games. And then the next one that I got right here, Guntouchables. I believe this one right here is a co-op roguelike for 1 or 4 players. So is this like a run? Is this kind of like a another bullet hell, or this is a side scroller? Yeah, it's like another bullet hell for 4 players. But what's the story on it? Yeah, this is a game that was available for free. And yeah, so the entire world has fallen, and the surface has been overrun by hostile and aggressive evolving hordes of mutants. So you're trying to get away from mutants, setting up the moments of glory. So it's like a bullet hell that you're just trying to survive. Yep, and it looks pretty cool. That looks interesting. So yeah, that's that one. That was one of the ones that was available for free. I know I didn't buy that one. This one I did buy is Iconoclast. So Iconoclasts. This one is another game that I kind of wanted to get as a physical copy, but a physical copy was, I think, a limited run game exclusive, but it was going for a lot of money. And there were times that I was trying to get it. So you're a renegade mechanic, Robin, who is trying to help out people in a post-apocalyptic world. However, for some reason or another, they're after her. And so at the same time, she's trying to help people, but trying to figure out why they're trying to get her. And this one is a Metroidvania. And the story, the whole concept of it really, really caught my eye. So yeah. So you're a renegade Robin, yep. So you're trying to uncover the secrets of a dying planet, but at the same time, they're after you. So is this a Metroidvania? Well, I love me my Metroidvania, so definitely. So this is a game that I've been wanting to own for a long time. But yeah, see, it looks like a Metroidvania. It reminds me of the graphics kind of like Terraria, the way that it looks, but it looks really cool. So yeah, this is one that I'm really happy to get. And it went on sale actually because it's going for a lot of money. Illusion Carnival. Now this one was free. This one is basically you're wandering through you're a lost soul. So the graphics are very, I guess, pop-up art style, and you're going through an amusement park. So you're trying to what are you trying to do? Uncover the park's hidden secrets. Kind of gives me the vibes the same as Crow Country, but no. So you're a lost soul. So yeah, it's like a overhead adventure 2D style game. 3D, 2D, maybe a point and click, kinda. Yeah. And this one was available for free. So that one's free. Then let's see what else is there. Okay, so this one was also going for free for a limited time. Is Kitchen Wars. This is kind of like a 1 to 4 player co-op, kind of similar to like a battle style game that you're trying to mess up your opponents in the kitchen while you're trying to run a restaurant. So this is kind of one of those games that's in development, but it was going for free for a limited time. But yeah, it's kind of like a battle royale style game based in a restaurant. So that game seemed interesting. I got it because sometimes my son likes playing those type of games. Now this one right here, Missed Messages. This is a short game based on someone that's. The story for this one got me confused because God's GS iPhone airdrops you, so you're trying to decide, and it's kind of has multiple endings. It's a short game, but you're trying. I guess you're having a conversation with somebody. But yeah, it's kind of like those point and click visual novel. So it has 4 endings, so it's like very short, 15 to 30 minutes, I guess. But it looked interesting and it was free. Was it free? Yeah, it was free. Yeah. And then finally, well, not finally. Then this one, The New Flesh. Now this one right here, it was free. This one is basically, I believe it's a first-person horror game. Yeah, it's a first-person horror. It's a horror game shooter. Let me see. It's a horror game, but I forgot what the story was on this one. So you're exploring a strange world within the screen. So it's kind of okay. So this one right here is based on a either rock group or someone named Red Vox, and you're basically playing a first person music video. Yes, and you go through certain levels and whatnot, and you know you're collecting records going through the levels based on a couple of 4 songs? No, 3 songs from their upcoming album. So yeah, so maybe this was a game that was developed. This was a game that was developed in order to promote an album from the group Red Vox. So yeah, but it seemed very interesting. So if you're a fan of that rock group, you know, you can, or I don't know what genre of music they sing. I apologize if I got it wrong, but it looked very interesting to me. So yeah. And then finally, this one was a game that just came free. And this one is called, what's it called? Let me go to the page. Shade Silver. So this is basically, it's kind of like, it reminds me a lot of Gauntlet, where you go discovering treasures and you're trying to find your way out, and but you're like a wizard. Yeah, it's like a dungeon crawler game. It reminds me a lot of so you play a Shade Silver that you're trying to find treasure and try to avoid traps and go through the dungeons. But it reminds me a lot like Gauntlet. The way that it looks a lot like Gauntlet. Especially if you're discovering treasures. Kind of like Gauntlet or some sort of game. But yeah, but that game came right now, I believe. I don't know if it's still going free as of the making of the video, so you guys might want to check it. It was for sale, but then it became 100% free, limited time. So yeah, these are the games that digital download games that I got. Now to tell you guys, the reason why I get a lot of these games for free, and I try to take advantage of games that are limited time free, because then they'll charge you for them. And the way you do is you just Google free Steam games this week. That's what I Google, and you guys can come up and see with any games, and they'll even tell you any up and coming future games. And what I do, I put them on my wish list. And then when I get notified, they'll tell me, oh, this game is coming up on sale, and it'll be 100% free. So that's a way for you guys to get some free games that are available a limited time. And some games are very interesting. Some are like whatever. But yeah, definitely these games are pretty cool to own. So yeah. So anyways, that is the end of that. Now on to the physical. Let me put this aside for a second. Move this out of the way. And then zoom out. There we go. There we go. Sorry, guys. So, okay. So now, starting with the physical games. Let me take a sip of water. These are the games that I got for the month. This game I had ordered a long time ago, but I received it this month. I bought it last month. And this one is called Martian Gothic Unification for the PS1. Now this game is actually a kind of like a adventure game similar to Resident Evil 1. And I completely forgot the story, what that game's about. But I believe that I don't know what you're trying to do. I used to know the story for that one. So yeah, but this is one that I got. I'm sorry, guys. This one I went in a blank. But this is a game that I did wanted to get, because it played like Resident Evil. But the story, man, I apologize what the story was on that one. So you guys can look on that one. So then I also visited, this month I also visited my retro store, the one that I go to in Alameda. And I got a couple of games. The first one I got is for the Game Boy Color, Mickey's Racing Adventure for the Game Boy Color. Now this one, it's a racing game / adventure game where you play as Mickey and you're out doing different races. But at the same time, it's kind of like an overhead adventure / RPG style game. So this one caught my attention and it was really cheap. So got that one. And then this one is a game I've been trying to get for a long time. Soviet Strike. Really nice copy, but I messed up on the sticker. So you're basically just trying to shut down bases and doing different missions with your helicopter. This, I believe, is the 4th installment of the Strike series. I know there's Desert Strike, Jungle Strike, Nuclear Strike, and Soviet Strike. So this is, I believe, I want to say this is the 4th installment of it. But yeah, it came complete. Really, really good looking game. So I got it for a good price. And then I got this other mech game for the PS1. It's a Japanese import. It's called sorry if I butcher it. Shin Masukishin Panzer Warfare for the PS1. And this is basically like a strategy game where I remember Googling the story on this one. This is kind of like some God Awakens, I believe, and so they're trying to figure out what's going on, if I'm not mistaken. But the game came with the spine and it came with everything, so it was going for a good price. Next one, now these couple of games I got as a sale that was going on at GameStop, and I got some of these that just kind of caught my eye. Battle Worlds Chronos is one for the Switch. I believe this one is I don't know if this is an RPG. God, you guys, this is one that I also forgot what it was. But this is like an adventure or an RPG game. And I know that I believe this is a series of games. But yeah, so this one, Battle Worlds Chronos. The next one is Tribes of Midgard. This is another game that I was trying to get a long time. So you're basically, you become the ultimate Viking and you sail the world from Ragnarok. And it's like an action adventure game. Like an overhead action adventure game. And it's pretty cool for the PS5. The next one I got is Wolfenstein Youngblood Deluxe. This one right here is the first-person shooter on the Wolfenstein series. I believe this is kind of like the continuation. It plays like you're in the futuristic times where the Nazis have taken over. So you're trying to go to I forgot what the story was about, and I looked it up too. So yeah, it has a code. Let me see. It has the deluxe edition. So yeah, I can complete with the code and everything, I guess, for extra stuff. But yeah, this is one that I'm kind of trying to get into, of first-person shooters. And then, of course, Watch Dogs 2. This one, I guess you're a hacker. God, you're in control. Join forces with the DedSec hacking group to take down factions that manipulate citizens in a hyper-conducted world. So this game, I got the Bay Area, I got the Golden Gate Bridge. Interesting. So yeah, I got it complete. It's kind of like an adventure, kind of like an action adventure game. So yeah, now that I read it, it reminds me a lot of Infamous, the way that it looks. I don't know if it's like that, but yeah. And then I also went to GameStop another time besides that time. And I got this Genesis game, X-Men for the Genesis. They were selling it. It was going for like $12 or something like that, but I got a little bit of a discount. But this is a game I've been trying to get. I used to own it a long time ago. It's a 2D side-scrolling platform game based on the X-Men. And I remember owning it early on when I had a Genesis, when I had my Nomad, because I didn't have a Genesis console then. I do now, but I used to own the Nomad. And this is one of those games I used to play, but I never quite finished. So I just kind of want to get back into it, and it's a cool game. And then this one's actually my daughter's, based on the characters. CoComelon Play with JJ. I guess you go play with this little bugger right here. And you have a play date with JJ at JJ's house. So it's kind of like similar to those games like Peppa Pig. And my daughter really wanted to get this one, so it's her game, but I'm just showing it off. And then I went to my local video game shop here where I live, and I went twice. The first time, and I got some really cool things, right? The first time that I went, I got 3 games. And that game was The Wolf Among Us for the PS Vita. The guy gave me a really good deal on this. So it's kind of like, I don't know what this is. Is this a code? No, just a nice Freedom Wars. I have Freedom Wars, so I guess it's from the same maker. And then yeah, so this is like I believe this is like a Telltale game. Yeah, it's a Telltale game. So I love Telltale games. So this is one that I was looking for a long time. And then I got, speaking of Infamous, I thought I owned this one, but I own a different Infamous. I have part 1 and then a different one, but I never had Infamous 2. The Son, I think it's called The Son of Infamous, or is the one that's based on the Son. So it's part 3 and this is part 2. Infamous was a really fun game. So you're basically in this game, basically I believe you have the option to choose either you want to be a good guy or a bad guy. But in the part 1 I played a good guy, and so you're continuing off on the story where you're kind of like you're a terrorist group to the bad guys. You're kind of like more like a rebellion, so you're trying to help out. And I'm kind of cute from what I remember because I played that game years ago. So yeah, you have to go back to the city. So you have to use your powers. So so it's a new evil that arises. So you come to this journey to prevent a being of pure power and destruction from annihilating mankind. So yes, I'm looking forward to this one. I really enjoyed Infamous. And then the final game, and this is one that I am very happy to own, and I never played it when I used to have the console, and never played that particular game, and that is Psycho Fox for the Sega Master System. This game right here, I did not pay $40, guys. I paid much, much, much less for that one. Now, I was choosing between this one and another Sega Master System game that I that I wanted to get too, that I used to own back in the days. But I definitely chose this one because I told my girlfriend, and it's the misspelled version of it. They say that this one is more common, but when I looked, I feel like this was much more rare. That means that this one was an early print instead of the one that has the right spelling. So you're basically a fox that takes different shapes of different animals, and you're trying to make it to a temple, from what I remember. Game is very Mario-like, but then they compared it a lot to Kid Cool. Was it Kid? I always get these games confused. Kid Nikki or Kid Cool? The one that says The Legend of the Seven Herbs. I think it's Kid Cool. And they say that it's kind of like a remake of that game for this one, but I never played. I own the NES version of it, but I never played. I own both of those, by the way. But I never played the one based on that one. So definitely happy to have that one. And then I went another day later because I really wanted to get this one, and I got a special deal on it too, and it's Altered Beast for the Sega Master System. And I used to own this one when I was a kid, and I didn't own the Genesis one, unfortunately. I like the Genesis one. My cousin used to have it. But this one, I had this version. And I thought it was really... I like Altered Beast. It's okay. It's a fun arcade game. 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up arcade game. So really, really good game. And then this one right here, I bought this game last month. It took forever to get because the person who sold it to me on eBay had gone on vacation and couldn't send it until the end of July. And I bought it early in July. And that game is Control for the PS4. So basically, what do you do here? After a secretive agency of New York is invaded by an otherworldly threat, you become now the new director struggling to regain control. Oh, okay. So yeah, so basically I guess there's like an alien threat and you're trying to kind of help out. This game is kind of like a 3D action shoot 'em up adventure game. So it caught my eye and definitely got it. Now, later down the line, I bought these two games together. They came as a bundle. But I was more interested in this one. But then after I got the other one and I researched it a little bit, I was like, okay. And of course, I got Nuclear Strike for the PlayStation. Like I mentioned, I had the Soviet Strike. And now this one is Nuclear Strike. I had to buy the... No, it's not scratched. Good. I had to buy the manual, but the manual was pretty cheap. So, because it didn't come with the manual, but it came with the box and everything else. But the manual wasn't that bad. And then I bought it together with this game, Team Rocket Rescue, based on the cartoon Rocket Power. I wonder, I guess, are these kind of like the grown-up versions of the Rugrats? But basically, they're like mini games, are they? Trying to focus. Yeah, they're like mini games, like skating mini games or something like that. Got it complete, and I guess it's a greatest hits. I guess it was very popular, and I never really heard of it. I mean, I've heard of the cartoon, but I never really heard of the game. And then finally, well, two more games, and then one of the games that I was looking for, Extermination, for the PS2, got it complete. Basically, this is another kind of like Resident Evil style game. So, welcome to the endangered species list. Man, my eyesight's getting kind of messed up. So, I remember reading up on this one, but I forgot what it was about. I mean, you guys can take a look and see. But this is a game I was looking for. But this one I do know what it's about because this is a game I was very excited to own and get. And it's for the PS2, and it's Terminator Dawn of Fate. The Terminator Dawn of Fate for the PS2. Really, really nice cover. I mean, you can't tell, but if you go look at it live, it's like a shiny foil cover. The case is bad, but the cover seems good, and I got it complete in really good shape. Basically, people say this is a really, really good game. It's basically the prequel to the original Terminator movie. which is the events where John Connor sends Reese to go save the Sarah Connor from the Terminator. So it's the events that led to them sending, I believe, Reese. And you play in the future, so it's kind of like they say that this game was really interesting and that this should have been the movie. This should have been the one after instead of Salvation. Even though I really like Salvation, that they said because the Terminator movies, they ended up getting worse and worse and worse, in my opinion. They weren't that great, but they weren't bad either. But the first 3-4 movies I really enjoyed. So, well, actually, that is it, right? So basically, I enjoyed because I think it was the very last one that I was kind of mediocre. The one where they went back in time with the Terminator, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger played the Terminator again. I think it was Genesis. Can't remember, anyways. But they said that this one is really, really good. So I'm looking forward to playing that one, especially if it's based kind of like a prequel to the movie. And then so those are all my games for August 2025. Now I got a couple of things. First thing, I got a Funko Pop. Got it on sale at Target, and it's because it's one of my all-time favorite movies as a character from one of my all-time favorite movies, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and that's Cameron Fry, which is a crossover. Cameron Fry with NHL because of the Red Wings jersey. So yeah, I wish I was trying to look for the other ones. That would have been cool. But it's kind of like a Funko Pop crossover type of thing, I believe. Were some movies? No, I don't know. There was some. Yeah, see, it's like a Funko Target exclusive, so it's a limited edition. So definitely was happy to get this one. But there was another one. Maybe I'm mistaken because I did see a Masters of the Universe / Ninja Turtles crossover Funko Pops. One of them was He-Man dressed up as Shredder. And then Shredder dressed up as He-Man. It was really weird, but it looked really cool. And I was this close of getting the one with I should have gotten it. The one with He-Man. I thought it would have been cool. But I prefer to get that one because Funko Pops, I became very meticulous about getting particular Funko Pops. I just won't run off and get any single one, because then if I do, I'm gonna start collecting way too many and it's gonna get crazy. And then finally, I got a couple of handheld consoles. I got the R39S because it was going really cheap at Temu. And this one sounds weird. Sounds like it. So it's basically an R39S it has the screen a little bit bigger. It's a little bit bigger screen. Got it. The green see-through was really cool. My girlfriend got she got the purple one for her because she wanted to get a gaming console. And believe it or not, right off the box with this one is really, really cool. I think it runs on Emulec, or I know the ones that I use are Arc OS, but I kind of modded them to Arc OS. I have a couple. The last ones that I got. But this one, I think I'm going to keep with Emulec. The only bad thing about this one is that you cannot plug it into the TV. And it only has L and R buttons. It doesn't have the R2, L2, and R2. But it's basically a kind of like a downgraded version of the R36S, which is a console that I bought not too long ago in a previous video. I've been meaning, I got a ton of these and I really want to do a video comparing all of these, especially also those China Game Boy that has like 600 games in one. I have a ton of those. I really want to do that in the near future, and I know I've been saying that for a while, but I haven't. It's not easy because this is gonna get really detailed, so I want to do that. And then I got another one that was going really cheap for Temu. I just got it this weekend, but I haven't really messed with it. But it's the Q2. And guys, don't buy it from Amazon because this thing right here cost me $10. If you guys want to go to Temu and check it out, they go on sale. Same thing with that one. That one went for like about $15, but now they're selling them for like 20, $30. But this one, the Q2, it's actually interesting. It's the one with the camouflage. It's this one. Now, what I didn't like is there's a version that has the L2 and the L and R buttons in the back, but it has them in the front. It's weird. The buttons like right there. And then I didn't like the switch to turn it on. It's really hard to flick it on. It does have a TF card and the volume. Believe it or not, I was messing around with this in the weekend to test out the PS1 games, and from one of the games that it has in there, it has the game Dino Crisis 2. And you know, games like Dino Crisis and Dino Crisis 2 and Resident Evil 2, you need those L and R buttons to kind of like turn and shoot. But believe it or not, it played PS1 games rather well. That one, I was showing it to my son, and that one played Nintendo DS games really good too. It even plays supposedly Dreamcast. I haven't really tested it out that well, but I don't think it's gonna do such a good job because the R36S doesn't play that well. So that one is probably not gonna be as good. It could be the same. Yeah, it should be the same. Yeah, it's basically an R39S. It's an R36S, but with a bigger screen. Yeah. So, but this one was kind of like, I was surprised. This one seems really cool to have, like, to just carry with you to mess around and play like NES games, and it has a bunch of games in there too. So if you look for it, always look on Temu or always go into AliExpress. One thing I do suggest, and be careful, is to do your homework and look into these, because you may end up getting a fake. I was concerned that this one wasn't going to be what I ordered, and it was actually. But yeah, I mean, for $10, I mean, can't beat that. But yeah, this was my haul for August 2024. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe to my family's channels: Lily, a simple mom; Logan from Logan's Toy Box Review; Alexis, aka Lexi, from Lexi's Toy Box Review. Or sorry, Alexis Toy Box Review. Their links are going to be in the description down below. And hope you guys enjoy the gameplay footage of the game, the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys take care. Peace out.